Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my glass studio. In this video, I'd like to show you how to make this beautiful hibiscus flower. I often will use a color for the background, but this particular glass I selected for the flower, actually Nikki picked the glass for me, is slightly transparent. I was concerned if I used a color in the background, it would muddy the flower color, so I decided to go all clear. I don't do that very often, but I really like the way this turned out. It's very crisp, very clean looking, really happy with it. You're going to see during the cutting part of the video, I had a really challenging time with this glass. I tried to lay it out a specific way, and then, well, you'll see. It was challenging, to say the least. Anyway, stuck with it. I'm really happy with the results. So let's get to it. Here's my pattern for this beautiful hibiscus flower. It's got the flower and then these leaves and this beautiful round shape here. And I think I'd like to put it in this stand. So this stand, when you purchase it, says it's an 8-inch stand. And from here to here, interior to interior on this circular area, it is 8 inches. But there's a little bit of, space taken up here by this weld here and here, here and here, and then these clips. So if you put 8 inches in there, it's not actually going to fit. So I'm going to cut this circle to 7.5 to make sure it nests neatly in this metal stand, and also that it sits down here in this little area that supports the bottom of the piece of art. So although it says 8 inches when you buy it, the true dimension for your artwork is actually smaller. So keep that in mind if you intend to use a stand, that you should have the stand in your studio first and measure it before you cut any glass. Because it's no big deal to cut this a little bit smaller, the circle a little smaller, but it is a big deal if it doesn't fit, because then it just won't go in the frame. So let's take these two things out of the way. I've got the circle cutter set to 7.5. I'm going to slide this clear glass in. I'm going to use a clear glass for the base piece of glass on this project. These little rubber things down here prevent the glass from sliding while you're cutting it, so it's a real nice feature. It's a great feature when you're cutting. It's a little bit of a pain when you're adjusting the glass because it really does not want to move. Alright, so I've got this good sized scrap of clear I'm going to try to use. And I want to make sure, double check that that cutter head is not going to fall off the glass on any of these sides, which actually is real close over there. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. So I'm checking to see that the cutter head right here is not going to fall off the glass because that damages the cutter wheel. So we want to avoid that if we can. Alright, so yeah, that looks good. Okay, all the way around we've got nice spacing. Go ahead and push. Come back around. There we go. Doesn't that sound awesome? I'm sliding that out from underneath the cutter head there so I don't damage or bump the head while I'm pulling this out. Now I'm going to take... Okay, I'm just making sure I'm taping. Now I'm going to take my cutter, handheld cutter, and cut this excess glass off. I'm going from the outside edge to that circular shape. Take my running pliers and squeeze on there a little bit. Great. Wonderful. Over here, I think I'll turn this around so I'm holding the piece of glass that I want. There we go. Perfect. Great. Now I'm going to take my grazing pliers and go back in and peel off this excess glass so that I have less to grind when I get to the grinder. There we go. And so I'm just grabbing those little pieces and then pulling down and out to remove those little flanges. Now anytime you cut something with a circular shape, you're going to get an irregular edge. That's consistent with cutting curves. So you're not doing anything wrong. You're just, you get the shape that you want. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? Right? Love it. I have the paper pattern for the hibiscus. I made a second copy and we cut it up so that I have these nice pieces I can work with. I can glue these on the glass so that I have really nice accurate shapes and pieces. So these are the flower petals and then these are the leaves. And I have selected this beautiful spirit glass for the flowers. And I decided to use clear glass on the background because I have two pieces of clear here. I'm going to use clear on the background because I was concerned if I put a color behind this glass the flower wouldn't show quite as nicely. See how that kind of muddies the color? Now maybe that's not a bad idea on that one, but I thought if I put a blue in the background, it might change the color. So I'm going to go with 2 layers of clear to ensure that I retain this really nice color. And then for the leaves, I've selected this pretty green that has some variation to it. You know, it's got some deeper color, some lighter color. It has this nice striation to it. This also has a striation, so I think that's really pretty. So when I go ahead and lay this out, this glass is a little dusty. So let me get a towel here and wipe that down. I don't see any residue of any stuff on here, but it is best to clean your glass before you start cutting anything, because then you don't have to clean all the pieces. Although that said, these pieces are going to have to be ground, so they'll get wet at the grinder. They'll have to be wiped down anyway. I'm going to take my glue stick, take my pattern piece, put a little glue on there, and then I'm going to lay it out in such a way that I have try to get darker near the base of the petal. So this area, and I'm also running this with the grain of the glass. Okay, so this is the dark spot, so let's put that right here. Ooh, it's going to be so pretty. Get some glue on there. Let's see if we can get this one in a dark place. Oh yeah, look at that. We turn it around. Then we get that right there. We got nice dark in the middle here. Put some glue on there. And let's put this one right here. Yes, that's going to be spectacular. We got this last petal. I don't know if we can, if I bring this one down a little bit, like that, can I fit this one here? I believe I can. There we go. So we got a little bit of dark and a little bit of light on that one. If I bring this one, rotate this one a little bit, and rotate this one a little bit, bring this one down a smidge, bring this a little closer. Actually, if I bring them all closer to the end, I can fit that last one there without such a bend in it, without such a twist. And I definitely want this to be dark. Whoops. Right in there, but we obviously want it on the glass. We obviously don't want these overlapping, so let's adjust that a little bit. There we are. Then this one, the nice thing about this glue is you can reposition it for a few minutes before it really sets on there. So you have a little more flexibility with your layout. I'm going to bring that in there and here. There we go, and then that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my cutter. Oh, fell right into a little seed. Take that strip off. So I take the strip off right away because that way I'm not risking the rest of the sheet. Oh man. Oh, crud. That really stinks. So, okay, there goes that theory. Let's go ahead and break the rest of this apart and hope for the best. There we go. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's see how we can salvage this. All right, this one. All right, if we take this one now and rotate it more this way, still have the dark in the bottom there. This one, number 5. All right, this is the darker spot there. Okay, we can just barely fit that there. Let's see if we can fit this one here. Yeah, that one fits better. So let's go ahead and put that one. Oh, that one really doesn't fit great either. All right, let's try rotating this one a little bit more. You know what? Forget it. Taking that off. I'm putting them where I want them. Where I want them for that deep color. So that's where it's going. Now this one right here, I think I like the color better there since I can't use this section anyway. Unless, now that maybe I rotated this, let's see. If I rotate this like this, still have the dark here. Can I fit number 2 over here? Not really. Boy, let's see, oh, can it fit like that? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I don't really like that though. Okay, well, we're going to leave and put this one where I liked it best, which was right there. There we go. So this is a great example of what you do when your glass breaks. All right, I played with this a little bit, and I just managed to get those in there with the tips just kind of, it's a tight fit, but we'll see how it goes. All right, this one I put in the spot I like best because I could not fit this other petal on there no matter what I did. So this other petal will have to come out of this section over here. Now let's just double check. Right here's the dark spot. So we want that to be something like that. Put that here. Actually, yeah, I guess that's the best spot, right there. Okay, so let's cut these first and see if we get them out, and if not, then we'll arrange them on that other piece of glass. Let's go ahead and glue the leaves. Got our 3 leaves, and this is the direction of the grain, so we want to take advantage of that on the glass. Let's take this nice big one here and put it right there, because we have a nice, oops, let's bring that back in where you can see it. Got nice coloring right here, so I want to take advantage of that. Put this one right here, this one right here. I like it like that. And then the 3rd leaf, well, we could tuck it right in there in between, or we could put it here. Oh, let's live dangerously. Why not, right? Although that makes a bigger strip, so put it over here, then it's a lighter leaf. That's what we're going to do. All right, let's go ahead and cut this off, and let's keep our fingers crossed if this one works, and we haven't, started a bad cutting day. We like good cutting days. All right, let's take these out of the way. Let's go ahead and take this out of the way, and let's tackle this. Let's just go for the gusto here. I'm going to pull this little piece in here. I'm going to use a little bit more pressure than I normally would, because I really want to ensure that I get this cut. Okay, and I'm going to tap. A lot of people don't like that, but so what I'm doing is taking this part of the cutter, the metal part, and I'm tapping underneath the score line. And I generally tap here like that, and then here like that, in an effort to get that glass to follow that score line. Okay, it's going. Woohoo! Look at that. We did it. We did it. Woohoo! Happy dance. Happy dance. Okay, we're getting it. All right, now we're going to do this tricky cut right here. Try to make it as straight as we can. I ran into the paper a little bit there. Let's give it a little squeeze, very gently. I think I'm going to squeeze from this direction. Very gently squeeze. Oh, I heard it go. Squeeze over here. Oh, look at this. Oh, crud. All right, well, now we don't really care about this one. I'll just get it out of there. All right, so we're going to have to put that one on a different piece of glass. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I hope this is not discouraging you from using fun glass, because, use fun glass. This glass may be a little more temperamental to cut. These pieces, these shapes I'm cutting are definitely a little more complicated. So let's get that out of the way. That out of the way. And we'll go ahead and use my grozers here and take this piece of stuff off out here. But it's going to be a spectacular flower. It's just going to be a little different than I originally thought. And actually, I really didn't have a whole lot of, visual concept as to what this was going to look like, because underneath the paper, there's quite a bit going on with this pattern. And so I really don't know what it's going to look like anyway. So, all right, look at that. Success. Woohoo! Yeah, oh, missing a little bit there. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, I need my brush. The bench brush over here. Sweep that out of the way. All right, I'm going to come over here, do the easy cut there. Here I'm going to do a couple of score lines in this tight little, holy moly. Okay. So far we're not doing so great. All right, let's just put that one aside too. Let's do this one right here. I don't know, I'm sure I swept the area pretty well. I don't think there was a pinpoint there. I don't know if this glass is just, I don't know, some days you don't have a great cutting day. Some days you think, I should just use the grinder, or I should just use the saw. But I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to let this glass make the best of me. I'm going to make the best of this glass. There. I'm telling it who's boss. I am the boss. You're just the glass. There, we got that out. Look at that nice deep cut we got there. And this one came out nicely, so we're not doing badly. I'm going to make a couple extra scores here than I would normally do, because I'm going to treat this glass a little more kindly to ensure I get these shapes, because I really liked this color. I really like this pattern, so I want to do what I can to get this out. There we go. All right. Okay, success. Yay. All right, I relayed these out where I think I have some nice color. Do a score. Hope for the best now. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna treat this glass like I'm the boss. hopefully, it works out for us. Okay, look at how nice this is going. Ooh, got the birds here with us. They're cheering me on. Lisa, you can do this. All right. Yes, some days are good cutting days, some days are not. But we still keep going. See, look, that broke. Not exactly where it was supposed to, but at least it didn't interfere with my pattern. Okay, we're getting it. We're getting it taken care of here. Gosh, that bird sounds so pretty, doesn't it? There we go, yay! All right, I'm going to cut these others out, and then we'll work on the leaves. Down to the final petal here. I've got kind of a tricky cut here. We're going to get this as close as we can. Oh God, there's seeds there too. I hope they don't interfere with the score, so I'm going to do a few extra. And I know it sounds terrible, but so you don't want to go over the same score twice, but you can intersect your scores and make those little crescents kind of overlap each other. And that's beneficial for getting out tight pieces like this because it relieves a little pressure. Oh, look, I lost a little point there. Darn. Okay, so what we're going to do, move it back a little bit. Look how nicely that worked. All right, let's try this again. And we still have the point in a dark area of the glass, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so far so good. Let's try this deeper curve here. There we go. Yay! Here, I'm just using the brozer to get that out. There we are. All right, you want to keep your area well swept so you don't put your tools down in these little splinters because that's how they end up getting on your finger. And little splinters, gosh, those little things hurt. So let's keep going here. We're on a roll. There we go. Wow, summer is here. I was getting a little aggressive there because at this point I've had so many pieces have broken. I was like, well, you know, you just got to do it. And not let it intimidate you, not let this material intimidate you. Okay, we've got all 5 petals. Wonderful. All right, now let's work on these leaves. These should be a little simpler, I would think. Shapes are a little easier. Oops. And bigger pieces. That sounded a little funny, didn't it? No, still intact. Okay, we're good. All right, so I'm going to cut the hardest shape first. Because if it breaks, I haven't wasted a lot of time. You know, I just can move the glass, move the paper to another piece of glass, and move on. All right, good. We got it. Great. All right, yeah, now I'm getting tricky. Let's see what happens here. Yay! All right, so I recommend, you know, if you're starting to get kind of aggressive with your glass, maybe you take a little tea break or something, because you really do want to be kind to it. All right, there we go, again. Yep, we got a nice piece there. Look at that beautiful leaf. Great. Well, we got a pretty deep cut here. So let's make it more shallow by doing a series of score lines. to make that less difficult for the glass to follow the direction and the cut that we want. So we're helping the glass out here by relieving some stress by putting in those extra score lines. Going around, this is the easy part, the outside curve. There we go. Getting it. There we are. This could use a little touching up. I think we'll do that with the grinder. All right, last leaf. There we go. All right. Very nice. Okay, we got a little piece left over. So let's head on over to the grinder. We've got our leaves. We have our flowers, petals, and we have our already ground 2 pieces of clear for the bottom, for the back. Okay, so when I grind, what I'm trying to do is take off any material that's beyond the paper and also make it smooth, get some of these little bumps out. So if I have to go back, stay a little longer in one spot, I'll do that in order to achieve it. And look how the paper's starting to slide around. That's actually good, because it'll come off real easily. Let's go ahead and grind one of these leaves. Go, looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grind the rest of these pieces. All right, here are the ground pieces, all wet and soggy. So I think I'll put them down on this towel. Keep the paper dry. I'll grab another towel to dry them off. There we go. I'm going to dry them off over this towel. Take the paper off. I see it's number 8. Dry it off, get the edges and the top surface, then handle it just from the edge. Lay that out. This is number 7. There we go. Ooh, look at that beautiful fit. Number 6. Here's number 5. Oops, they want to stick together there. So the advantage of the water in the grinder is not only does it keep the dust down, it lubricates the bit, it also, oh gosh, which way does this go? It also loosens the glue. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. Goes like that. All right, this is number 4. And this time, when we take the paper off, we'll make a note that this is the interior of the petal. So it's nice that you have this paper pattern to work on. Put these pieces back together in the proper orientation. There we go. Ooh, look, that's fitting nicely. This one's number 3. Ooh, look at that nice dark color there. I like it. Ooh, I like that a lot. Okay, dry this off. Okay, could have a little bit better fit right there. This piece right here could be ground a little. I think I'll go do that and then bring it back. All right, ground that spot right there. Oh yeah, it's a much better fit. You know, that was actually a result of how the paper was cut. The paper had kind of a sharp right angle there instead of being smooth and round. So keep that in mind when you're cutting your paper pattern. Try to keep those lines as smooth as you can, especially if it's something like this where it's an organic subject matter. You know, where you want those curves to fit nicely. All right, something's going on right there. This piece is not fitting well. It looks like we need a deeper curvature right in here. See the 2 pieces are hitting? Yeah, they're hitting right there. And this looks good, so I think I'll go ahead and grind that a little deeper. We'll give that a second. Let's put number 1 in place first. Oh, look at the wonderful coloring on that. Ooh, yeah. So placing the glass in such a way, look at the nice coloring here and here, how that works with the grain of the leaves. All right, that fits nicely. Okay, everything fits nicely with the exception of, actually when I rotate that, it's not bad. Maybe I didn't have it in the right position. Okay, actually that looks fine. Okay, so I need to take that Sharpie off there. There we go. Okay, ooh, what a pretty flower, right? Yeah, loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, let's throw this away. Oh, it's so pretty. I cut the center of the flower, this little stamen, out of thin white glass, 2 mil. I tried iridized black, I thought about yellow, I thought about orange, but I thought all those colors were a little too strong. So I think the white's gonna be pretty. So we're gonna take these off the pattern here, slide them off, put the pattern under our clear base. Now I have a second piece of clear already in the kiln. I'm just gonna lay this glass on here, the flower on here, and then load it in the kiln on top of that second piece of clear. It's just one less piece to have to transport over there, saves a little bit of weight. And then I also know exactly where to position it inside the kiln when I get over there. There we go. Oh boy, that fits so nicely. I love it. A couple little gaps there, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to consider those highlights. And look, I'm overlapping a little bit here and a little here, so, and actually a little here. So this clear is actually a smidge smaller than the pattern, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to place this little stamen right here. There we go. And I'm going to use this yellow opal medium for the little, I don't know, little decorations. I know they're not decorations, but the things around the stamen here. There we go. I think I have a little too much. So we're going to go ahead and move this around to the other side. Bring this up closer. So it's really nice to have handy to have a little dry paintbrush in your studio for things like this. And I want it to be a little kind of lumpy. So I'm going to spread that out a little bit. Maybe move a little bit more around this other side. And some up here towards the top. There, I like that. Oh boy, there we go. Okay, I think that looks fine. All right, let's go move this to the kiln. And we'll get firing. I think I would like a little bit of this yellow on top of the white. What can I do without moving anything? Well, apparently I can't. Nope. Well, maybe it just has to be like that. Well, you know what? I do love my flowers, so, and they're organic, and I really can't go wrong with a pretty flower, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh boy, am I in a mood today, all right? A mood there. I think that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and move this to the kiln. Oh, it looks so pretty. I love the direction of the glass, the colors. I think the white in the middle there and the yellow is really nice touch. So we're going to fire this to a full fuse temperature. There are 2 layers of clear on the bottom, then the flower and the leaves on top. So fire well, my darling. All right, here we are. Let's see how this project fared during the firing. And ooh, isn't that pretty? Wow. Ooh, I love the clear background. It's very crisp, don't you think? And look, we've got this wonderful little white halo around the spirit glass. That was a nice little side effect of using that material. I had considered putting frit in here to, you know, kind of hide that clear, but I think that worked out well with the clear and the white halo around there. Also, look at this fun stuff right here. Where the yellow and the pink overlap, we get a bit of an orange. I think that's really pretty. Nice little extra detail. And I'm really pleased I used white here for that stamen instead of the black, because I think that would have blended in with this purple or competed with it. And I thought, well, this white picks up the white in this, but yellow is introducing a whole new color. But this is, I think the yellow is a nice addition, kind of a little, what I might call a zinger, something a little unexpected that adds a nice little pop of color. The green came out really nicely. It has a really nice shine, wonderful edge quality. Bow it out a little bit here because it's 3 layers there, and a little bit here, and a tiny bit there, but I think that's all fine. I'll pull this back a little bit for you so you can really see it. But overall, I'd say it was very successful. Love the clear, very clean and crisp looking. Love the flower, the nice directions we have, and also the leaves. And then again, the yellow and pink mixing making this pretty orange right there. Very nice. So loving the way this came out. Super shiny. Love it. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing me make this flower and stick with it, as I said. And I'm really pleased with the outcome. So, hopefully that's a lesson for you. It's certainly a lesson for me. Just if you have a certain vision, a certain plan, an idea for your project, see it through to the end because it's well worth the effort, the time, the extra material. Now I've got some nice material I can use in some smaller projects, some very small projects, because you saw that breakage. Anyway, it's all good. It turned out really great. Nice little surprise with the orange here with the yellow and pink touch. That was fun. Like the direction of the piece all radiating from the center. That was really fun. The clear background, I had an idea what that would or should look like, and it's better than I expected. The little white halo around the flowers. Love that. So I'm really glad I stuck with this glass even though it challenged me to get the pieces just the way I wanted them. So again, thanks for joining me. The pattern is free on my website, so check that out. Feel free to go there and download it. And thank you for being a YouTube follower, subscriber. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your following, commenting, liking, sharing. Thank you for all that. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate when you do that. So we see those numbers every week, and it makes us happy inside to see that we're progressing and keeping you inspired, which is keeping us inspired here in the studio. Also, become a premium video member. We'd love to have you. We got a new course that just came out. Got another one, still warm in the kiln, right behind me. You hear that little clicking? That's another member project in construction. And I'm doing a new technique there. Not really sure what it's going to look like, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I can't wait to share it with you. So if you're a member, you get access to 34 courses right away. Full-length video instruction, pattern ebook, everything you need to make these wonderful, successful projects. And so join. We'd love to have you. And until next time, happy fusing.